Greetings, family. We are live. Welcome to the Sister Shanice show. As you know, it's you Jammer Day. It is Wednesday, hence why we are live and direct to the world. So let me just grab that link and please do let the world know that we are live. Share the link. Much appreciated. And if you're watching us on the replay, please do enjoy and share. So just going to let the family know that we are live and share the link with them. Oh, I am so looking forward to our conversation tonight, family. It is going to be epic. It is going to be so interesting. As you know, we've been doing a series of shows where we've been featuring people from the UK who have grown up there. Mainly in the 60s and 70s, 80s, and they're coming on the show to share their experience of growing up in the UK. Because, you know, I have so many followers from outside the UK who say to us, what was like, they ask us, what was life like growing up in the UK? We don't know your story. We need to know your story. You guys in the UK, you're not very good at, you know, sharing and telling everybody the story about what life was like actually growing up in the UK. So I said, okay, well, we'll do a story on it because, wow, we do have some stories to tell. And for those of you who have been watching the series, oh, it's not here. For those of you who have been watching this series, thank you so much. You will know, you've heard from Dr. Abu, who was sharing his stories. You've heard from Brother Delani, who was sharing his story of growing up in the UK. You would have heard the story from Nana Kwaku, who came on and shared his story as well. We've got, last strong, we had our sister Jasanre. We were going to be sharing the story, but you know, most of these stories, one of the things that they highlight as a common theme running for all of them is racism. The extent to which racism played such a role in our lives growing up. And so with that in mind, we had a situation in the UK where one of our Black MPs, who was one of the first to be elected as a Black MP in the 1980s, came under a huge amount of racism and racist attacks. So we decided that we were going to talk about that instead of do the regular show. And wow, you know, it was just a classic example, really, of racism in the UK. And I've done a few little shows about it. So if you go on the channel and take a look, I've done some like little short news reports about the situation facing our MP, Diane Abbott. Hopefully most of you have actually seen it and watched it. If you haven't, basically what happened was there was a millionaire who's worth about over 400 million, something like that. A millionaire actually launched a really awful racist attack against the MP Diane Abbott. He said that looking at her makes him want to hate all Black women and she should be shot. Wow. I mean, it just hit everybody in the gut. And, you know, it was just coming to light as we were doing our show last strong. And so we decided to talk about that. So you've got that there to look at on replay, family. I'm just posting a link here. As you know, I normally do at the beginning of the show. I do have a guest for you who's behind stage at the moment. She'll be coming front of house in a little while. She's going to be coming to share her story. Her name is Sister Esther. I'm really looking forward to hearing her story. Oh, she's got such a beautiful personality. You're going to love her. Yeah, I know you're all going to love her. So, couple of things to announce. Firstly, if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. If you're not, please subscribe to the channel. This is my latest book. If you've got a copy of it, thank you so much for supporting. If you don't have a copy, get a copy of the book. It's so informative. It really is. I mean, I think, you know, every young person should have a copy of this book. You can get it on Amazon. If you're in the UK, go to amazon.co.uk. If you're outside the UK and you're in America, for example, go to amazon.com. If you're in Europe, you can go to amazon.europe, whatever the acronym there is for Europe. But it's available all around the world. And, you know, every young African person needs to have a copy of the book. Why? Because it's such a handy book. It can tell you of the numerous African empires, kingdoms, and cities that existed prior to colonialism and prior to enslavement. It can tell you so much about what we as Africans invented. And we invented so much. We are innovators, we are creators. And this little book captures so much of it. You know, let me just open it and give you a little flavor and tell you what I've got in here for you. So, for example, we talk about the great kingdom of Zimbabwe. And we talk about, you know, how it was actually built. Now you can see my beautiful guest, Sister Esther, in the house. So let me just wrap up on this because we're going over. It tells you about the construction of Lalibela in Ethiopia. It tells you about the ingenuity and creativity of so many of our ancestors. And, you know, it goes back to ancient times as well. You know, once you've read this book, absolutely no one whatsoever will be able to say to you that we as Africans didn't invent anything, didn't create anything, or didn't build anything, because you'll be like, hold on a moment, and you will know, and you will be able to reel off, you know, some very well researched information. So grab hold of a copy of that book. Lady Esther, Lady Essie, oh, you look stunning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Happy to be here. So pleased to be invited.
So you're giving me a royal wave. I love it. Our family, you're gonna love Lady Essie. I mean, I do already, you know, just getting to know her and love her already. So let me go over to the chat and see who we've got in the house. Oh, rise up, Sister Carol. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you in the house. We've got Mahogany in the house. Greetings. Good to have you in the house. Sheriff is in the house as well. Wonderful. Brother Kiami. Brother Kwami's in the house. Brother Kiami's in the house. Kimani is in the house as well. Otep, rise up, family. Yeah, drop us a note in the chat. Let us know that you're in the house as you come through the door. You know, we want to be able to welcome you. We want to greet you. We want to know where in the world you are viewing us from as well. Hotep, family, Hotep. So, just to let you know, actually, before we go into the show, just by way of announcement, just another really exciting announcement. To those of you that joined me in part one of our African British History training course, thank you so much. The great news is we're doing it all over again, and we're going to be bringing to you more information about different eras of our existence in Britain, you know, from ancient times coming forward. You know, this is history that we weren't taught about during school, college, or university. They led us to think that we only came over to Britain with the Windrush, which was during the 50s and 60s. But the reality is that Africans have been in Britain from the Stone Age era. We were there throughout the Stone Age era, the Mesolithic era, the Neolithic era, the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, and we've got all the proof and the evidence. And so if you are interested in your history, because history tells you where you've been. And if you know where you've been and you understand and understand the greatness of your history, then you will go forward in life with confidence. So to book, just go to gumroad.com and search for Sister Shanice. Sister with a S and an A at the end, Sista, not the ER at the end, but the A at the end. Sister Shanice, okay? Gumroad, once you go there, just, you know, put in my name and the products will come up. A free brochure that you can have. And if you go there now, you can get the early bird discount, okay? So there's a bit of an early bird discount there for those of you who want to do the course and get a bit of a discount. So looking forward to some of you joining me. Anyway, without further ado, let me welcome again our beautiful guest, Lady Esther. How are you doing?
Very well. Just bear with me because try and speak a bit louder. I'm in a place where I want to make sure I hear you clearly. And I've got my volume up to the max. Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'll do my best.
And I've got one of my sons here.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thumbs up, it's all good.
Okay, yeah. So Lady Esther, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes. Greetings to the house and hi to everyone in attendance. My name is Esther. My mother called me Esther. She called me her resurrection daughter because I was born on an Easter Sunday and I was the first child to be born to my mother after my father took a second wife. I come from a traditional house. Could you close the door, David? You're making shakara for me. I'm in my family environment, so bear with me. Esther, and then my daddy called me Itusi. Itusi means I've come to enlarge my family. I've come to increase our territory. Yes, African powerhouse. My father was a traditional ruler. My grandmother called me Nwankego, means a child is more precious than money. You see, in the old days, doesn't matter how you're born, you could be born in a plane, in England, in the Caribbean, wherever you're born, they will tell you now African Pekin you there. So I'm African Pekin, born abroad, first generation in my family. Born in Angel, Islington, yeah, in 1950s. I don't have to give you the exact year because I'm still fresh and green. It's my palmolive. It's my palmolive.
That little fresh and good right indeed. Now, carry on, please.
I'm in the Gambia. Anyone who's listening, you're like, so you travel, you never tell me no. I was celebrating my birthday here and I met Sister Shanice. I'm so excited to be here. I'm shy, so don't blame me. I'm a very shy person. But I'm speaking to you today.
Oh, so yeah. Family, as you heard, our Queen, Lady Esther, has got a beautiful name. And what I love about African names is that they have meaning. African parents from the continent don't just give their children any name, do they? They give them a name that has meaning because, it's as if they're speaking destiny into the life of the child, speaking purpose over that child. And they want that child to live up to the name that they have been given. So thanks for sharing your birth name with us. Absolutely beautiful. And you said that you were born in Islington in the UK as well. So in the 50s as well. So I wonder if you could just share with us, any of the stories that maybe your parents might have told you about, what their expectations were before coming to the UK. And then on arriving, what they found, how they found life there.
Sister Shanice, it starts with your parents. They're your gods. Okay? They're your gods. They're the creator. They created us for a reason. So my mommy and daddy came to England in 1953. They are pioneers. They're not the first. My granddaddy came to England many, many years before because he was an officer in the West African Army and he had this special finish to him, my granddaddy Johnny. So we have English or European or Anglo-Saxon names, as well as traditional heritage names. I have a joint heritage because my mother's Igbo and my father's Ishan. Ishan is one of the Edo tribes in what we call the ancient kingdom of Dahomey. You see, being born abroad, forget Angel Islington. It's just that I'm blessed to have a heritage in a place that was quite sophisticated back in the 50s for Africans. And those of us who were carried beyond the continent, they said from different islands, but we thought they were all one tribe, like tribalism. So when we are born abroad in Africa, they would just say first generation. So we've come into a strange place. I said to my daddy one day, Daddy, in school,
Sister
they
S.
keep telling me to go back to where I came from. Where did I come from? He said that, so give me brothers. He said that he carried me to England in his loins. Loins. So I came from my father's
Sister
loins.
Oh, Sister Essie, the line is chopping in out, Sister Essie. The reception is not
Yes.
good. It might be that you need to move to another spot, please, where hopefully we will get a clearer reception, because I want to hear everything you're saying, because, you know, I'm loving your story already, and you've just started, you know. So I don't know if the boys can help you to maybe suggest somewhere where we might get a clearer reception.
Well, do you want me to move? Or can you hear me better now?
That I heard you say that better. It's still sticking, freezing a little bit. Let me go to the chat and find out if people are hearing you okay. Family, we're hearing from our beautiful guest, Lady Essie, who has already started sharing her story. Let me know if you're hearing her okay. It might be that, you know, it's the problem is my end, because sometimes, you know, we do have these challenges. But we want to make sure you hear the story from our queen, because, wow, she's a fantastic story to tell, as you can hear. Let me go over to the chat. Even what's platform is Galaxy Radio. Can anyone? Okay, when I get the chance, Stephen, I will post the link. That's the back. As you probably know, we're having some challenges, some internet challenges and IT challenges, but you know, hopefully that's resolved soon. But there's a temporary link for Galaxy that you can use. It's in and out, but you know, if you hang on with us, and you will definitely be able to hear from the link that I will be sending you. Kwame Abojek says, Hotep Steve, our Galaxy family are still having problems, but they will be on soon. Yeah, we are already on, David. So I'll be posting the link in the chat. So let's go. Queen, introduce herself. Were you able to hear her okay? You know, the reception is from your end. She says, hi, you also stick. So yes, it's probably my end as well, that we've got a little bit of a reception tonight. My sincere apologies. Are you hearing us okay? Let me know if you're hearing us okay. We're sticking it in. It's to do with probably the wife here, unfortunately. Yeah, let me know if you're hearing us okay. Well, thank you so much. Make sure that our audience hear these wonderful stories that we've got to share. Okay, let's go back and carry on. So you say, you know, your parents came here in the 50s, and your grandfather was here before them because he was in the West African Army. I found out about 350,000 Africans that fought in the war on the side of Britain. So your
Yes.
grandfather was one of them. You drafted in.
Yes. But when you see us, I hope you're hearing me better. The boys said they've checked the Wi-Fi better now. Can you hear me better, Sister Shanice?
Yes, carry on. Yeah, we're
Fantastic.
gonna.
Yes. So my daddy said, those of us born in the 50s were born on the cusp of independence. When in Africa, we were marching for freedom from colonial rule. So we came to England to claim our heritage because we had the British sterling pound in our pocket. We wanted to come and enjoy our country because we paid for it with our blood, sweat, and tears. You see, my father, Christopher Hemahi Iyabebe Chief, they used to call it, because he had a kind of a long line of blessed fathers. My forefathers were champions. They were warmongers, and they would conquer with confidence and say, confidence is your name. They would tell us to stand strong. We know where we're coming from. So when my father came to England, he was tall, dark, and handsome. He said that when women saw him, they were weak at the knees. Weak at the knees. Any kind of person was weak at the knees. He said he loved to tell stories. I've never met a more intelligent man in this planet in my lifetime till today than my father. He's late now, but in his memory, I celebrate his history. Because of him, I'm here. Do you know how many ancestors you have to have before you are born? Well, that one I know personally. Now, my father, I respect his memory. So he said when he came, they came by ship. We tell us stories. They came by ship and arrived at Portsmouth. My daddy wanted to eat Gary. I don't know if anybody know what Gary is. It's cassava, like flour. You mix it with water and you drink it and eat peanut. He wanted to drink Gary with water. So they collected some water from the tap, but it gave him a runny stomach. So my mother had to carry him off the ship on her back. So he said, yeah, you people. That means the Anglo-Saxon people will say, look, monkeys have arrived. They're carrying each other. Excuse me. Looking for my daddy's tail. He said, I don't have tail. I'm human being. I'm human being. It's just I have poor belly. So he came. They eventually got to London, where he saw signs on windows. They said no dogs, no blacks, no Irish. Anyhow, it said it was in that a different order. But he said, how come they can't go and live? And when they come to Africa, we welcome them to live in our palaces. And in England, no dogs, no blacks. So they're thinking that we are dogs. And who are the Irish? He said, maybe the Irish are black people like us. So he came to England, he said, with 10,000 sterling pounds in his pocket. He was able, within 1 month, to buy 3 houses, Sister Shanice. 3 houses in the Archway, Hendon, because we migrated. We ended up in Hackney. Say that again.
I'm going to camera. I'm going to come over to save bandwidth to see if we can hear you more clearly if I'm on camera.
Do you want me to keep talking? Do you want me to keep talking, Sister Shanice? What should I do? Well, I'm going to continue.
It's my pod. I'm going to take video so that it saves bandwidth and we can hear clearly. So go ahead, continue.
So I could continue, can I?
Yes, we're hearing.
Well, I'm hearing you and I'm going to continue. Well,
yes, please.
Yes, he bought houses and he called his fellow countrymen and said, look, if you can't find a room, rent one from me. I think they might not be the first estate agents in Islington, but they were the first who set up a corporation for Irish, African, and Jewish people. Those are we call the small hats people who wear those hats on their head so that we can rent and share rooms together. His houses that he bought, one family would occupy one room, maybe 3 or 4. Don't talk about overcrowding. This was reality. When you have to put money in for gas meter to heat your hot water, gas light, and you're burning coal on your open fire. So in those days, he said it wasn't easy. People lived crowded to a house. But what he was able to do was to share his life with others. My father studied law. And before he knew it, when he was buying houses from the Anglo-Saxon, instead of selling him the freehold, absolute in possession, they were selling him leasehold properties. Little did he know that the lease will soon expire. But Sister Shanice, the crux of the matter is, in 1969, Harold Wilson devalued the British pound, and the property empires of all the Africans who came here and bought land collapsed. I don't know how it happened, but my daddy said they ripped him off. So he could sell what he had to sell. He said he's running back to his country because this country is a rip-off. And he could, the others that he were left, they were repossessed because he didn't realize it wasn't a freehold he held. It was a leasehold property. So the 50s and 60s for us, as a what we call owner-occupier, growing up African in an Anglo-Saxon environment, my mother calls them the host community. She said, we have to respect the host community because we're in their country. That means even if they're telling us off, I say, oh, go to school, go and just humble yourself. My mother will plait our hair in thread. I don't know if you know what I mean. And it's thread, like you could pull the thread and it will come out. They used to call us spider hair. That's the Anglo-Saxon. The Caribbean family used to call us African boo-boo. So I used to say to my mother, why are they calling us names? Why are they calling us names? I'm going to fight all of them. You have to go and stand up for ourselves. She said, no. No, my darling, don't be fighting in school. You have to go there to learn the golden rules, how to get on in life. Africans that came to Europe, and especially England in the 50s and 60s, came to pioneer the generations to do better. They never came as poor peasants. They came as educated elites. They came as pioneers, coming to live a better life in the motherland. That's how they call this country. Because they say, well, our blood, sweat, and tears funded and fueled the benefit of the Industrial Revolution. So the pain, I used to say to my mother, where they're telling us, like I said earlier, go back to where you came from. My daddy said, no, you came from my loins. You can't go back. Tell them to go back to where they came from. And then my mother was a midwife. She said, then that means that I have to find their mother. And it was complicated. So just warn them. If you have to, you just fight, but warn them and tell them if they need to go first, and then you will follow them. Tell them to go first, and you will follow them. And my Caribbean cousins, with respect, they used to call us African boo-boo. I said to my mother, I want to fight them to show them that African have said. She said, no. Next time they call you that name, tell them that they're African too, that they're your distant cousins, maybe 14th, 15th generation born abroad, but claim them as your family. The more you work together, the more you will stand up together. So the joy, Sister Shanice, of growing up abroad, being born abroad, is that we're the champion generation. We came and we got an education. We came and we fulfilled our destiny. Our parents went back home as champions. Say they came to England, they came, they saw, they conquered. Do you hear me? They came, they saw, they conquered. I remember when we used to go to church every Sunday, my daddy would march us up and down Threadneedle Street, telling us about the Bank of England, all these buildings and the bank. He used to tell us that every single penny in these banks belonged to us. He never born us to fill the sweatshops of East London and the workhouse of East London. He born us to claim territory. So we had to know how to march up and down Threadneedle Street, claiming our territory. because everything in their banks belonged to us. I'm confident that this generation that you see, who was born in the 50s and 60s, born abroad, whether you came from the Caribbean or you came here as what do you call them? Send for children. I am born here. We came to mingle. That's the truth. We came to find that exodus. I don't know why they say some people have story, but yes, so just say. Some songs that in our generation, when I heard them as Rasta music, I thought this was another language. Trust me. This was a heartfelt language. And then you got Fela on the other side. If you join the dots correctly, we can't deny that we woke up a whole generation. We can't deny the truth because we lived it. Raving on a Saturday night. My daddy had friends, Caribbean friends in his age. They would see me in the rave. They would come and grab my clothes. They would say, come on, get out, get out. Your daddy's an African. He don't expect you to be here. I said, no, but Mr. Johnson was an icon in the 60s and 70s in Hackney. I like the music. He said, no. You don't understand it. You don't understand it. Certain people, you had parents from different cultures who would understand the love that our parents showed. We had respect for our elders. We didn't care who born you. Anybody could discipline you because you know better. So we had a generation who knew better. I'm just so happy that my generation came up early. My daddy said when we got Independence Day in the 60s, we celebrated. And the parties we had included Caribbean family as well as African family. We couldn't discriminate. I know there were some who tried to make you feel foreign in their house, like you go there and they don't want to feed you. But come to our house, anybody knew that you're more than that welcome. My mother was a hearty colored woman. Her arms were open to everybody's child. And in those days, we had runaways. Do you hear me? Runaways who needed to be kept safe. We had issues in our community where some things weren't just right. But we, my age, and I'm confident that the intermarriage I see amongst my children, I even married a Jamaican and had my superstar son for him, not knowing he was a Yardi. I thought it was a Rasta from Trelawney. Sometimes you know what you're doing. You're bringing each other home. He had a homecoming. The first time I saw eyes on him, I thought he was an Igbo man who dressed good. It's only when he opened his mouth with his lingo. You know what I mean? I thought, raw, this is a Caribbean proper. But I told him, if you was born in Africa, you would have been a king's son just by your presence. So we have to forgive each other sometimes. We don't understand the struggle proper. But if we care enough to listen to the music and pick up the vibes of the love that was amongst us at that time in the 50s and 60s, you're not going to forget trying harder to get on with your own. Let's just work together. I could talk all day, Sister Shanice. So I'm going to give the mic back to you and then I'm listening a bit. Okay, thank you.
Lady Essie, I'm so fascinated by your story and I just love the way you tell the story as well. I'm listening through my earphone and I'm about a minute behind because I'm hearing you better through my phone than I am my laptop for some odd reason. But, your story, it's like I'm visualizing everything that you're saying there as well. Love it. So, you came to England, you met your husband, you married, you had your star son as well. And, you talked a little bit about life at school as well here in the UK. And, you mentioned what relations was like as well between, the Caribbean and the Africans back then. But obviously, there was so much misinformation and indoctrination to keep us divided as people. But fortunately, we all know a lot better today. And so, so you had a working life in the UK, or did you spend your working life abroad? What were your opportunities? like?
Could you repeat that, please, Sister Shanice?
Yeah, share with us, what were career opportunities like for you in the UK?
What was growing up, did you say? Sorry.
Career opportunities,
Oh,
working life,
career opportunities. I know I'm a
your
snob
working
like
life.
that. I think Africans are the most intelligent people on the planet. So, yeah, we had to have an education. I come from a sibling set of 14. My daddy had 7 boys and 7 girls. And I know I'm one of the smartest girls in my family. I'm not boasting. I'm toasted. Because I fitted in everyone, but I love studying. I loved education. And I knew, like Malcolm X said, and the reason I'm saying Malcolm X, my daddy was born in 1925, the same year Baba Amawale Malcolm X was born. Imagine if my father was Malcolm X. Imagine the confidence I would have had in double portion. So I named, not even me, my son. His father said he's going to give him his first name, and I have to give him my surname because the man said he wants his son to have an African disposition. And guess what name he named my son? Malcolm. I am honored to have born that young man. He's passed now. I remember him with happiness, but it's the history of his presence here on earth. You see, we came to tell a story. Today is about telling everyone who's listening and hearing my voice that there's a story. We're born for a reason. So being born abroad, don't worry about England. It could have been anywhere. It could have been Germany. It could have been Russia. It could have been being born abroad. Jamaica, Trinidad, St. Lucia, Dominica. Being born abroad means that you've lost that direct link to your ancestral. They call it sons and daughters of the soil. But it's in our DNA. It's in our blood. Okay? So education is key to growth, especially for girl children in a country. I'm in the Gambia and I've been telling the girl, you need to wake up your head. You need better sense in your brain because that's how you're going to chop better food and feed your children. We are the custodians of the future. So women in Africa, we don't joke. I just want to just remind this audience about something. My mother said when she came, because I had to come with, they came with consciousness to get educated. My daddy studied law. My mother studied nursing. She became a midwife. She said that because they used to leave the food for the nurses in the ovens, with a hot plate on top of it. Like you go use a microwave today, you put a plastic cover. Them days, it was a metal cover they put over the food and left them in this big oven for the nurses who was on duty. My mother said when they came to eat their food, the other Anglo-Saxon nurses would have turned off the gas so the fire went out, but the gas was still on, polluting the food under the plates. That's what my mother said, that they couldn't eat it. She said that her Caribbean sisters, some of them were so brave, they said, no, come on, Philo, come on, we're going to go and tell them off. My mother was so timid, a humble lioness, she wouldn't want to argue with anyone. She said that her Caribbean sisters taught her how to kick doors open and demand the right to be heard or seen or considered. So in my school, I must confess, I'm a brilliant girl child. I went to a boarding school, but I demanded an education. If I stayed in the local school in Islington, I know they would have put me in the second-rate job where they could up and down the aisles in supermarket. No. And I was able to leave school with a basic education as a legal secretary, audio, touch typing, and shorthand. Pitmans. If anyone knows what I'm saying, they will know. Pitmans level 1 and 2. Not be small thing. Now, smart person can finish that one and learn to type fast. Speed typing. So I became a legal secretary. Then I became a barrister's clerk. I went through the echelons of the legal profession. I call it the creme de la creme of the black bar. Whether they call us ghetto chambers, I don't care how they say it. If you saw how our brothers dressed, these men with suits, I just wished I took pictures. I would have had an album to live for. People would have seen our brothers back there. I know that my father, a black man in his royalty, they stand convicted of honesty. It was honorable to work amongst the black elite. I've always felt I sat amongst the black elite in England. I don't apologize for being born abroad because I know we lifted the standard. 12 old square, 9 stone buildings, number 1, number 2, Knoxville. You know, you had people, you know, the first QC of England, John Roberts. You had people who were entrepreneurs. Jonathan, we used to call him the Rumpold of the Bailey. Jonathan Offal. Oh, I'm telling you, Sister Shanice. So I came up in the elite of the black bar. Then I met this Rasta man. And I got married and had my son. Oh my goodness. It was a long story, Sister Shanice. Then the man passed away. This is why this love that we have for our people is war. They make us live like we're in a jungle out there. And he was one of the first men to get shot in the streets of Hackney because of bad manism. Yes, in the 1980s. I'm not apologizing. I can testify that I've seen and I've come through the painfulness of loss. Love, you can never lose love, but a loved one, you know, so I had to live in his memory. But he freed me. I never knew he gave me a destiny. Because of the pain of his loss, knowing I had to feed a child by myself, I went and studied law. I qualified and got my law degree and worked in the profession for a little bit of time till I realized I don't want conflict in my life anymore. Conflicts of law, criminal law, civil law, conveyancing, all these conflicts, matrimonial. Why am I dealing with conflict? No. So I changed my profession and went into construction, land development, property building. I learned so much. That's what I'm doing in the Gambia. I am a developer. Do you hear me? I am an educator. Do you hear me? Because I have sense. They see my qualification. Now you be this, yes, now me, whole person. Now me be this. I love it. I love it. Because of my son and his condition and his love and his dedication to community. He said he was the real McCoy. He used to say, Mummy, I'm African Caribbean. On the list, they say, Mummy, he was a trainee accountant. He was so brilliant. They say tick black British, black Caribbean, black other. They don't have African Caribbean. I said cross all of them out. Cross all of them out and put African Caribbean or put Nubian black. So they would know. We're not turning back. Please be encouraged, everyone. Be encouraged. We're not turning back. This is going through, they say door of no return. No, it's for you to look at the cusp of life. Are you going or are you coming? We're in 2024 now. Best year ever for me because my son and his father, they made me realize there's a destiny. My mother always used to say there's another fellowship in heaven. Live your best life on earth. Try and appreciate the people you meet on earth. You know that we are one family now. Let's appreciate each other. The young ones, please, don't look like it's a war zone out there. We love you. We born you. The one that carried you in our loins. The one that carried you for our belly. We born you for a purpose. Don't let these foolish people in European cultures mesmerize and cover our eyes with shame. We come from a royal disposition. That's why I have my pretty dress. You see, I have my pretty dress on for you. I put pretty dress. Let me hand it over back to you, Sister Shanice. I could talk forever. The one thing in Gambia, I went to get some dresses made for my birthday. I told the tailor man, What can I do? He said, in Gambia, we have 3-in-1. 3-in-1. A trouser, a top, that's for ladies, and abada. In Nigeria, we call this one abada. See the connection, the connection. I'm so happy he's making me a 3-in-1. When I take it, a picture, Sister Shanice, I will send it to you, please. I know there's got so much in common. It's better we look at what we got in common than what we looked at keeping us apart. Over to you, Sister Shanice. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much. You've been sharing, so much with us. And, although I'm having challenges with the audio, when I listen back through here, I'm hearing you loud and clear. So I know the audience are hearing you well as well. Such a journey, an emotional, touching journey, one full of love and loss and experiencing the heights of what there is, to experience in the UK as well. So it's been quite a journey for you, and it's beautiful, a beautiful share. So you've talked about your working life, talked about your school life, and at some point you decided, well, I'm going to leave the UK and maybe spread my wings a bit. What made you decide to do that? And share with us, because we're talking about repatriation. Many of us are leaving the UK, and we're going back to Mama Africa, So share with us, what made you decide to leave the UK?
Yeah, I haven't fully made the transition, but people look at it because she got, well, are you going or are you coming? No, this is coming forth by day. Have you heard of this statement? Coming forth by day. The book of Annie, education. The bottom line is, if you know where you come from, you know where you're going. And my son learned so much through me. I know we started off as Catholic, as Esther. Then we maneuvered and I became a Rasta. Then when my son's father passed, oh my goodness, my heart was broken. I ran back to Christianity. It didn't work. My soul was so restless, but I knew it, wanted to come home. Where's home? On this planet, in the land of the living. Well, I'm going to walk where I can feel comfortable. I see everybody my color. I'm not playing. I'm a Nigerian. We don't do nonsense talk. But I knew if I go to Nigeria, I know I'm going to think I need to feed the 5,000. Because there's always a need. Wherever you go on this planet, there's a need. Especially when you go home. So now, I've told people all the time, I'm a West Coast girl. I'm more than a Nigerian. When you see me in Nigeria, you're Nigerian for real. You don't sound Nigerian. You sound Caribbean. What's a Nigerian? You don't look Nigerian. What does it look like? What does it sound like? I'm a West Coast. So I'm claiming the continent, Sister Shanice. I can go anywhere in Africa and feel at home. That's the truth. So I need to build an empire to do that. My son, his best friends, they come and tell me, Mom, I got a son. We don't want him to go through the channels of Babylon system. How can we get him out? So we started programs. Don't call it repatriation because we're not going anywhere. We started training programs. It's called holiday breaks. Come and get some work done on the motherland. Get a feel for the flavor. Well, you want to work with the land? You want to work with children? What do you want to do? Let's train you up so that you can find your freedom. We've got to get a freedom chart. People say do a vision board. What's a vision board when it's at home? Give yourself a freedom chart. Give yourself a flipping map, a road map. Columbus found where? Where did Columbus go and find if they lived though the wind was blowing in the right direction? You better wake up, people. Yeah, Africa is calling. It's calling you home. It's not about where you want to get to, it's where you're going. So come forth by day. Anyhow, there's people here who can help you, but still, don't trust anyone but yourself. It's got to be tuned into your need. So my need is to give the future a chance. I'm living in the land of the living, but I've got grandchildren, I've got sons. I never born them, but I've raised them, a generation that needs to have a way out and a way up. So if this is the little I can do to start investing, we call it land banking, especially in education. Let's give the children a break. Yeah, I'm not playing. My parents really made a big effort for me. And I'd love to share more of my story, but I think I keep it a bit private, some of it, because it's personal to me. But they gave me an opportunity to speak up and speak out. Speak up and speak out for myself. And I'm a girl child. Okay? So you can't stop me. I'm coming through. If you don't want me to come, just come out. I'm aware. I'll kick down doors for you. Don't block me. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. I'm not apologizing. I'm a real champion. So in my village, they say, see the village champion, she don't land. You want to see sense? I'm going to show you better sense. Make I show you better. Education is the key. You see? So it's not about coming up with my fist like I want to fight people. No. But I can talk the talk because I've walked the walk. So opportunity for me was to get out of England. I work on a global network. If I got access to Wi-Fi and a computer, I can go anywhere and work. We're globalists. That's what we are. They want to call us home. We can sit anywhere and be at home. But we want to know where the sun shines. We want to know we can get plantain. It's not going to cry. You see, baobab fruit. I got chop baobab fruit for Gambia. They don't do Nigeria food proper, but I'm trying. But in Nigeria, if you eat better food, you're going to know soya. You're going to know pepper. I can't believe they don't roast fish on beach. You go to Lekki Beach, you go enjoy for Nigeria. But in Gambia, everything they fry fish. How you going to do fry fish? So I'm looking for Sister Shanice for some Caribbean restaurant. Let me eat some good food while I'm
I will definitely point you in the right direction, my sis. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we have everything everywhere. So that's why don't be shy. We're not coming abroad to say we're good. I don't know. We're gonna sit down and boast because we've got our own home. We're by ourselves. The girl child. No, you have to walk with your tribe, your vibe tribe. You're not alone. If you stand on this planet like this, you won. It's no man is an island. No one should stand alone. So I'm moving with my vibe tribe. I've been instigated to be a leader. So as a big mama, that's what they call me. I'm a heavyweight. Let me carry it well. I don't mind. Like I always tell people this. Just let me finish quickly. Have you ever seen an elephant climb a mountain? Everybody always says no. But you know what they do? They take their hoof and they knock in the step of the mountain to make the fattest, biggest elephant will make a step. Because she knows if she can stand on that step, anyone behind her can walk and follow her. She'll bust up the mountain till her foot can start strong. That's how they get to travel. Make stairs. How can you make stairs up a mountain for people to follow? That's what we're doing, Sister Shanice. Bossing up the mountain. So we get to the mountain top. Let me come down again to the other side and we keep rising. Let's bust up some mountains. Sometimes we've got mountains. They call it molehiles, really, but in our lives, we've been told lies. We've been told hearsays. We've been told false history stories about where we come from, who we are, and when we stand. That's the difference. Sometimes when I hear my Caribbean cousins talking, and they say, oh, because of slavery, because of the deserted, the sugar plantation, that the pain that we went through. I'm not dissing it, don't get me wrong. But those of us who came in the loins of our parents direct from the soil, children of the soil, we don't have that Wahala story. No. The one we have is the discipline in our household, or the poverty of mind, or the lack of consideration, especially for the culture. What we have is the hunger to excel. There's a hunger. I call it a hunger for knowledge, a hunger for learning. They couldn't stop me in school. They tried to label me like I was mad and disruptive because I would question the teacher. Always put up my hand when they talk about Africa. They talk about the dark continent, and I would come up in Kiev. I put up my hand and said, my father, my grandfather, they live in palaces. You want to come to the Africa that I know? I was little. They got expelled twice. Do you hear me? I wish I could tell you some of my educational stories. I was a hooligan in school. I showed them, don't talk about Africa like that. Not from where Africa I come from. And they didn't call me Esther until I went to uni. Because my parents called me Itusi Iyo, baby. But when I went to uni, where I'm talking now, am I doing all right? My son said, now watching me.
You're doing great.
They said to me, I said, my name's Itusi Iyo, but they said, no. We can't use that name. It's the second name on your birth certificate. I said, well, I'm not used to any of the other names on my birth certificate. They said they have to call me Esther. So I'm in class doing my lesson and the lecturer's shouting at Esther, Esther. And I'm thinking, who's she calling who's not answering? And it's me. So if you call me Esther, because you know me after 386, if you call me Itusi, you know me post 86. So my mother gave me, she calls me her balanced child. She gave me those two ways. Esther can be like the princess, but Tusi is the village champion. I like the village champion. The village champion knows how to stand strong. I wish I could tell you some things about my school days because I went through it, but I came out victorious. Yeah, so V is for victory. V is for victory. Do you hear me? I stuff Churchill. Stuff him. If you don't know who he's looking at. This, we got the victory. We born them, Sister Shanice. There's no man on the planet that can say he wasn't born of woman. Unless he fall from heaven. And now you got to talk. When my daddy talk says, I wish I could tell you the story. I said, Daddy, where did we come from? When he said, when the elements pick up the earth and blow life. That's all man they work up for this land. That's why we are brown. He said, call us primitive man. I said, I'm woman. He said, yes, but it's the primitive man they work up. Sometimes Africans, we have to wake up our senses from the original man. It's not original sin, it's the original beginning. Make you see better sense for your future. 2024, claim it, claim it, claim it. That's what I'm saying. Claim it, it's yours. Yeah, you could go where you want to go. You could do what you want to do. Yeah, they say, I've got heaven right here on earth. Do you hear what I say? Who sing that one? Bujo? I got heaven right here on earth.
I don't know, but it sounds good. And yeah, more of our people need to be looking to enjoy heaven here on earth, not waiting until, they pass away, because no one's been and come back. You have such a beautiful spirit of determination, Lady Esther. I mean, I love the idea of you doing the educational programs because, to instill some of you and to impart some of you into the young people of today so they will come up with the courage and the determination and the enthusiasm that you have for life and success. I mean, that's beautiful, beautiful, and I can see you doing motivational classes in front of big audiences of young people and stirring them up in the spirit. Because as we know, the education system, it just pours, it just dampens, the spirit of our people. It's like a killing field. They kill us slowly in those schools. And so you have to have had a really strong and confident upbringing in order to be able to get through the schooling system and become successful. So well done to you, because
Absolutely.
many have crumbled in the UK education system, because that's what it does. It crushes you. It makes you feel as though, like, I mean, you talked about some of the stories that they tried to tell you about Africa, but hey, you knew Africa, you know, but when they were telling us those stories, those of us from Caribbean, we didn't know Africa then. And so we didn't know that they were telling us a pack of lies, and that, you know, that they were making the place out to be, you know, a dark place, when in fact it was, you know, the place of light and life and invention and creativity, and all that there was and was there first. You know, we didn't have that enlightenment, but you did. And so that gave you the confidence that you needed. And it's just a reminder, really, of why knowledge of our history and who we are is just so, so important. Because if you've got that knowledge, it gives you the confidence, and then no one can come and knock you afterwards. So, you know, high five to you for getting through the UK education system, you know, almost unscathed, but still coming out a true champion. And so your advice to the young people is get an education, you know, be clear about maybe what your purpose and your destiny is. Yours at first was to become a lawyer. So get that knowledge, get that education, because that's what will carry you through and take you through. Yeah, because once you've got it, yeah, no one can take it away. Yes.
Absolutely. And on top of that, yes. I'm in my third career. You see me, I'm like an I-trees, or it's 3 degrees, or, you know, supremes. But we come, you know, they call it the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. But they call it Iris, Horus, and Isis, Abby. So you can call it what you want. You need a mother, a father, and a baby. All right? So if I'm the baby and I come up strong, excuse me, 1 minute, please. You got to recognize, what do you want to give yourself in three-dimensional, think 3-dimensional ways. I want to tell you, young people, think for yourself. I know some of us, we didn't grow with a mama or a papa, but if you think for yourself, think for somebody you love in your parents' generation, somebody you love in your grandparents' generation. 3-dimensional level. I call it 3 eyes. You know, it's all about the iris, the inner. You know, they make you look outer all the time. Sometimes you have to look inner yourself. Find that strength in yourself. Know who you are in yourself. Nobody can take that from you. That's what you said, Sister Shanice. Once you get an education, it's yours for life. Nobody can take that from you. Malcolm X said it without a doubt. Our freedom belongs to those who prepare for it today. It's an education. They can't apologize. So sometimes you have to bite your tongue. When my mother would say to me, bite your tongue, I stop getting into trouble. Stop talking anyhow. Stop it. When I try to bite my tongue, for real, and it hurt me. I said, why am I biting my tongue? I'm not biting my tongue. What she meant to shut up. How can you shut up when they're telling you rubbish? No, nonsense person. So I couldn't shut up. Sometimes you'll pay a price, but you will struggle. If you go through the struggle and you see what you've accomplished, then you recognize my 3rd degree, they call it high science, is because I learned that I could become a social entrepreneur. When those trainings, Sister Shanice, courses that I started to do, my son was diagnosed with bipolar. I wish I could tell you more. And he was put in hospital. And I went to visit him, and these young Black men were in the TV room, spaced out on drugs, Sister Shanice. My spirit man told me, you got to get him out the TV room. So I asked the doctors if I can come and run some training programs for these young boys to reduce isolation. Sister Shanice, their lights, this Eureka, my goodness, their lights came on, Sister Shanice. I was encouraged. I went and found a way to train myself to start an organization so I can start going to prisons, Sister Shanice, hospitals, places where our sons are being laid dormant. They're not a sacrifice. They're not a sacrifice, Sister Shanice. I'm telling you, if you don't know what you're fighting for your people. If you don't know what you want better for yourself. When you're born them, you know how it feels. My son is my champion till today. He made me meet some amazing people, the lion hearts in those hospitals. the champions, and they now are walking, talking sense, walking, talking, bad boys in prison, come out and start becoming entrepreneurs, Sister Shanice. Wake up the generations that you can born. My son's generation is my chosen generation. When I saw how to wake them up, I started an organization. Who knew that it would take me into the realm of boys and girls? I love the brotherhood. I grow with my brothers and my father. I love them on them because they show me sense. My daddy said, I should have been born a boy child because I have sense. If to say I'll be boy picking, he would have given me the kingdom. I said, but daddy, you can give it to me. I'm a girl. He said, no. Girl children don't rank like that. I tell you, you're joking. I'll show you her pictures when I was young. I now tell my brothers, wait till daddy goes out. I'm going to teach you a lesson because we have to serve them at the table. They must think that them as a big man to me. And they're all younger. Now, we're all in our 50s plus 60s. I get utmost respect from my brothers. And they consult me.
Beautiful.
When I was young, it was a joke thing. No, sit down. Girl children, we're not small. We're your second mamas, brothers. We're your second sisters. You need to recognize that we come first in your life. Don't sacrifice us. You know, we might not want to be your wife because you're family, but we can definitely be your protector and your guide. So please, when we look at life and we say, my third degree is, I'm a social entrepreneur. I went to the School of Social Entrepreneurs. I'm a fellow. You know what that means when you say you're a fellow of the SSE? I'm a fellow of the bar profession. I'm a fellow. That's my brothers who are doctors. They're a fellow of this college and a fellow of that. So who's a jolly good fellow? Who's a jolly good fellow? Who would you be a jolly good fellow? Be yourself. You hear me? So I'm in my career that I can be myself. I should have done this from the beginning. But the ancestors said, no, you needed to study the law of the land. You need to start. I even went to theology school thinking I was going to become a pastor, kind of evangelist. Like I had a calling. They tell me now you got a calling. Calling to do what? You need to study the law of the word of God. And now I'm studying the law of people. So sometimes it's not just one path. You got to get that roadmap. It might take you like crisscross till you get there. Because it's not one straight line. You get me? So as an elephant boss up mountain to climb to the top. So sometimes you have to boss up some space around you. You hear me? So look at life like you own it. You got to live it now. This is your life and you got to claim it in the land of the living. If you don't know what I'm saying, you never heard that statement before, and you understand what an ankh looks like, go and understand to read the book of Annie. Do you hear me? And testify for yourself that you got a path. You can set down your own story. Sometimes you got to tell it as it is for you. So that's what tonight is about. I'm so happy, Sister Shanice, you gave me the opportunity. I hope I've shared some home truths with the people, and I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
You certainly have indeed. Oh, we thank you so much, you know, and family, you heard it from Our Lady Essie. Live life for today. Live life here on earth. You have a purpose, you have a destiny. Walk in it and walk in it with confidence. Wow, yes, indeed. You know, I wish we all had that spirit, or more of us had your beautiful spirit. Since I tell you, we would be moving mountains like that elephant, and we'd be leaving the steps behind us for the young ones to walk in. And isn't that what they're looking to us to do? Are they not looking to us to be the change that they know is needed and they desire to have in this world? But if we go around like conquered people, then, you know, we're already beaten. Wow, family, what a spirit our Sister Essie has. Let's go over to the chat and pick up some of the comments there. Kwame Abode is agreeing. He says, Ashe, Sister Shanice, our children should be educated. Yes, indeed. So there's agreement there about education. We must teach our children more about the truth of our mama land. Yes, indeed, Brother Kwame. And more comments here. I have been to Ghana 4 times, and next year it will be my 5th visit. Oh, lucky you, beloved. And so a question here from Darina Star saying, book of what exactly? Speak up. So some question here. What the book of Annie was it that you recommended? We'll come back to that in just a moment. Let's see what Kwame is saying. Lots of messages from Kwame. Rise up, brother Kwame. Good to hear from you in the chat. Come on, everybody. Let's get some messages in the chat. Are you enjoying what you're hearing from our sister, Lady Essie? Are you feeling inspired? Do you think, her message needs to be heard by young people? Wow, would this help them with their future? Certainly sounds as though it would. It was waking up young people in the hospitals and those in other institutions, wasn't it? When I landed in Accra for the first time 44 years ago, I was looking for Tarzan and starved dead babies, but I saw markets, schools, motorways. Yes, indeed. Oh, they really do fill our head up with nonsense, don't they, about what to expect in Africa. So yeah, if you don't know, you just don't know, and you believe the nonsense that they tell you. Isn't that true? And so the misinformation continues even until today. Even until today, our young people are getting miseducated within the schooling system. Some calls the schooling system. So my sis, your mother told you how to get through. She said, bite your tongue. Bite your lip, just zip it. Even if they're telling you nonsense, you know it's nonsense. Just zip it to get through, get those qualifications. Pick the sense out of the nonsense. My mum used to say, and use that to get on. Let me ask you if you can share with us any more tips that could help our young people to get through this miseducation system. How could they complement the education so they've got, the additional knowledge about themselves that they need in order to give them the confidence in the first place to excel above, the mediocrity and the misinformation that they're getting in this education system?
Yes, Sister Shanice, thank you so much. I know the young people, they're hearing us, and we care. And it's not always about how they can do it. They need help. You see, like I said, it starts with the parents. If I didn't have a powerful mother or father who would listen to me when I'm complaining, this is what I'm going through. How can I navigate this foolishness that I'm seeing in this country? You born me here for better. My mother never believed in racism. Racism, forget that word. There's only one race, it's the human race. Prejudice in our days in the 60s and 50s. Color prejudice, I used to tell her, Mummy, the teachers are color prejudice. The first time I got expelled is because a teacher called me a black bee. And she said, after I went and hit her, I didn't hit her, but she sent me with a letter to go home. And when I opened it to read it and it showed what they said I'd done, I said to my sister, I better go and bust up the teacher's head because I'm going to get bust up by my daddy. When he reads this letter, somebody will well accept I done what she said I done. But she lied. She lied. So I went and I knocked on the staff room door and I pushed it open. And I went and see her and I boxed her. And I said, now I can go home and face my own reality check. I slept that night in the square, Arundel Square in the park. They were so frightened they couldn't find me. My daddy said, what did happen? What did happen? I said, I know you're going to beat me because they say I'm a box teacher. So I want a box teacher for real. Oh my life. When you look at life and you have to take that risk, it's not always that children have to stand alone. We got to be there for them.
Yeah.
My son, he tells me, he said, Mummy, all week you send me to school. And then you send me on Saturday to Saturday school. And then on Sunday to Sunday school. When is that me time?
Oh.
Years after, you know what he said?
Yeah.
Thank you for the Saturday school, because it
Yes.
gave him the sense to know he came from somewhere special. Yeah.
Wow.
So we
In
need to
lots of
open up
categories.
our hearts a bit more as adults
Yeah.
and make
Yeah.
time to educate our children on the hidden. How does is it Andrew Muhammad? What does he say? Hidden something. His message. Hidden
Mm.
something. There's certain things we need to endorse for each other. It's like
Mm.
joining the dots, the black dots. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
keep talking. I got all black moles on my body. So my sisters used to take style and draw, like link the dots as a child, draw all over me. Foolishness. That's nonsense. I tell them, come on, get out. They said, no, no, no. I've got a secret body map. Trying to join the dots. What dots? That's what, because I'm the fairest and the fattest in my family. There's a saying that's telling you something. You see what I mean? One hand washes another. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So each generation is what? 30 years. Every 30 years, you have a new generation. What have we passed on? With confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so confident right now. I'm working with the 30s plus. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
showing them what it means to be husbands and wives and producers of family. And I've got two generations in tech, them and their children. I am so confident. This
That's really,
generation that I'm seeing who's like your early 30s, 29 cusp.
yeah.
Anyone who's calling me and they're telling me a 29 cusp to 35, this is your time to
Mm.
shine. But we need to set up, you need to set up certain Saturday schools for your children. You need to start
Mm-hmm.
giving them that confidence to walk on like fire. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we've got a few organizations like the Manhood Academy, people that are doing it, doing it, doing
Yeah.
it. Even Jamaica National Bank is investing in some money in certain money management training that we're doing on the ground.
Mm.
Education. No matter
Yeah.
what you give them that, then they're going to inspire. You need to inspire them to want more. Yeah, I'm like an Oliver. Please, sir, can I have some? What? More what? It's not about food. Food for thought, yeah. But not about belly food. Not be chopping money food. No, food for thought. Let's
Mm.
keep it real. Yeah, we don't want to pick a pocket or two. We want to
Mm.
become champions in the ring. Like Anthony the other day, one nut punch them out. It's like a
Mhm.
winner. Tyson, Mike Tyson. You have to look at the champions. Yeah, where did
Yes.
they get that from? The hardcore. Sometimes,
Mm.
what are we asking our children to fight for? Let's
Mm.
ask them to help you prepare yourself for the battle.
Mm.
Because we've been there, Sister Shanice. We've
Yes.
stood in the gap for many people and many moons of Moses ago. So let's why not give, as an adult now, as a senior, well, I'm not giving up. Nah, they picked the wrong person. And they see me coming. Come on, my friend. I'm big enough to talk. I'm in my 60s. Get out my way. Get out my way. I'm a legitimate citizen. I don't have no criminal record. I'm gonna burn. I'm British passport. Make you talk. You want to talk sense to me? I'm gonna sense you senseless. Yaga yaga person. So be
Oh,
confident. Sit down
yes.
with your children. What do
Mm.
you need help with? If I can't do it, I'll know a man or a woman who can. And we
Mm.
start helping each other again. In my time, in the 50s, even one of my best friends was Turkish. I had a Turkish anne, that means mother. I had a Jamaican anne. She baked me. I brought a Caribbean black cake to Gambia for my birthday. People say, "Oh, did you bake it?" I said, "No, no, no. I got family from Jamaica. I got family Guyanese. I got my Guyanese family. Oh my goodness! Like my auntie just that was a mother from another. I'm their last born. I'm not their last born really, but in Africa we say, yeah, when somebody adopt you, I'm their last born. And I'm even older than their last born. And their last born is jealous of me because my mom loved me. And me, I know how
Oh.
to be last born in my Caribbean family. So what can we do for one another? Yeah,
Mm. Mm.
yeah. It's
Mm.
not about sleeping around and having babies. No, 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 no. It's about caring and sharing. Yeah,
Mm.
who's mama? Who's papa? That's what my son had. I said, I know your I knew your papa. I knew your papa. My son was a chess champion, grandmaster. You know, he had a maths brain which was so uniquely identifiable. He just was sharp. And one of my friends who's Jamaican said when my son passed, he said on his, you know, when they write an obituary for you, that Malcolm should have been raised in Africa. He would have had a different outlook to life because he was born to shine. That was such a lovely thing to say.
Yeah.
So much good come out of, and he was one of my son's mentors. You know, sometimes we don't give people credit enough for what they do for us. My son's father passed away when my son was 2 years old. He never had a father. Some people got father on the planet, and they ain't seen them since they were born. I had an excuse. Your daddy's in the grave. Your daddy passed. But the men that stood in the gap for me are today's the ones I'm saying thank you to, because they raised him as a champion, because he could see better for himself. Just that he had a medical condition, which with all the drugs they pump into our young boys' bodies, we can't deny the fact that we know what they done, you know. But I'm not going to go and make noise. No, he's at peace. And then my mother said, there's another fellowship. He's going to prepare a way for me. I thought, if I show you the headstone I've just paid good money for, and give him a royal diadem, people will recognize in eternity what we're born. If we can't recognize it ourselves, how do we expect other people to recognize? So let's recognize them in their lifetime. Make space for them. Make plans for them. Saturday school them. Give them a choice of knowledge. They don't know the A from B. How can they going to pick C? Do you hear me? Yeah, over back to you. I hope that's okay. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Let's go over to the chat again. Rosalind said, hidden truth, Andrew Mohammed. Hidden truth. That's what you were looking for. Thank you so much, Rosalind. Yes, Kwame Roger said, Africans learn to control our own business self-dependency. Yes, self-dependency indeed. I love my beautiful queens from Ethiopia, Angola, Tanzania, Kenya, Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Grenada. Yes, hey, we have a queen from Nigeria here. Yeah, we've got to add Nigeria on that list probably. Yes, indeed. Ghana Africa in Focus says, everyone do not go to any other mall apart from A and C mall. This is the only shopping mall in Accra that is owned by a Ghanaian. So all the others are owned by Europeans, Arabs, Chinese to A and C. Okay, so some advice there about where to go and shop so that we can circulate that Black Pound in our community. Thanks very much, Ghana Africa in Focus, for that. Kwame says, Amma, I have been to Accra Mall, and when I went to Ghana for the third time 10 years ago, okay, talking about particular shopping mall in there as well. Sista Africa, thanks for the reminder. Yes, please do give us a thumbs up. Our Queen Essie here is just giving us so much enlightenment, giving us a story in such a beautiful way. You know, a lot of humor, but also, you know, within that humor, so many golden nuggets that we can take away and that will help to make us, you know, be all that we have the potential to be, especially our children, you know, especially the younger generation, the next generation. Make plans. She's telling everyone to make plans and come back to the continent. It will seem challenging, but as long as you plan and have people you know on the continent, it's all good. Rise up, Sister Abijamo. Thank you for inspiring others to do that. And she says it's never too late either. Enough people are coming to Ghana. She said, I just came from the airport. A group left, but will return. It's real and it's exciting. Leave the dirty West, she says. Rise up, Sister Abijamo. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Anthony was in the house saying RIP to Audrey Adams, mother of murdered African Roland Adams. She was 62. Yeah, she passed away sadly last month in February. Jamo saying construction, very noble profession. Okay, mahogany, exactly, beautifully done. So something about can't remember what point he was making at the time, but that message came through. Uh, we are Africans. These are the labels, aren't our labels. It came from slavery and colonialism. Okay. So down to the bottom. Yeah, African focus. You're right about ANC Mall. I would say please go to the real markets and buy from the locals. Yeah, the malls are expensive. Local Ghanaians cannot afford stuff there. So go to the markets as well. So yes, it's really important that we support, when we go to Africa, that we support the local people who are often, just have small stores in the marketplaces. Let's give them our hard-earned money rather than giving it away in these expensive shopping malls to others who don't look like us, don't like us, and are not going to be investing in the country. Wow, Sister Essie, you've taken us on such an exciting and interesting journey. You really have. I'm just so, so delighted to hear, all of what you've had to say, your testimony, and what you've shared with us. It's just been beautiful. And the way you deliver as well, you keep us engaged and, you have a beautiful way of injecting humor into your stories as well, and you see the best, in everything, which is beautiful. I picked that up from you. And I think that's something else that's really important for us to take away, even in the midst of, loss or tragedy, there is also, the other side, which was, the time you had together, you shared together, the love, the laughter, the fun, and, all that you saw that your son, for example, had become during the years that he was here. And, it is tragic when we don't have an alternative way of treating our children when we see and know that they need help and assistance. And again, that we are at fault and there's, work for us to do as a people. So, that's something maybe we should be encouraging young people as well to do, to get into the medical profession and to look for us to start up our own, medical industry. You've got the Chinese doctors and the Chinese medicine, haven't you? The European doctors, European medicines. You've got the, hey, where's the African medicines? We are the original. We are the ones who, invented most of these medicines. So we really should be doing a lot more and be further ahead down the road. So, family, we are going to be getting ready to wrap up now. But before I do, I want to give our Lady Essie the last word. So, Lady Essie, what is the message that you would like to leave us with today, based on your beautiful life experience?
Yes, that's the word, is the beautiful. It's beautiful. It's the beauty of each day, trusting yourself. My personal trainer, he's got like a brand, Urban Street Fashion, and it says, trust no one. Trust is expensive. Trust is real. Well, how can you keep it real for yourself? Starting with you, I always used to tell myself when I was younger, especially when my parents left England, went back to Africa, and I was here like on my own in a boarding school. Accountability starts with number one, me. I've got to be accountable. I can't afford to get pregnant. My parents would come. African sense, go finish me. I can't take drugs. I can't drink. I'm in that environment where people are doing what they want to do. And if I'd followed them, only the Most High, the ancestors know what could have been my portion. So I chose to discipline myself and study my books. My daddy would say, face your book. You could take a book and you could put it up against your face and you're facing it, but are you reading it? You see? Are you reading it? Are you taking in any sense? I tell my granddaughter, she can spell her name, Simi, and she finishes it. I say, write the S, make I see you write it. And she's looking at me like, you're asking for too much. You can spell it, write it. So she's 4. Write it. I want to see you write it. And she looked at me and said, that's hard. What is hard now gets easier when you practice. So my mother always used to say, practice makes perfect. Somebody asked me today, can you cook African food? I said, of course. You never forget because you was born in England. I said, which part? You know, there's a video going around TikTok. Do you wash chicken? You wash your chicken? Some people say no. I think, yes. With salt and lemon and lime and everything. You have to wash it. Anything you cook, you have to wash out. It's not their fault. Nobody showed them. Straight from the packet into the frying pan. No. Or takeaways. It's what is called quick fix life. There's no quick fixes in life. It's better you learn like driving a manual than you take on a automatic. If you're going straight to automatic, you think you're always on cruise. Please sweat a bit. Learn to bath your skin with lime. When you smell bad, make it freshen your body now. And so they say for Africa, come. Make her smell your mouth. You're slapping says. If you stink anyhow, they say you come up on the bathroom. My daddy was like, please. And especially because I was fat. Have you washed under your armpit? You know you're fat, you will sweat. You think, why are they telling me this? Like I don't know, I have to shave. They will be shaving me anyhow. Pull down your dress. Now you're fat, you have to cover your skin. You have to know how to present. So people, don't be shy if somebody tells you something for your own good. Don't be so sensitive. Don't take things personal. Trust yourself to learn to do better. We got to do better, best. I do my better best till my best becomes my better best. Do your better best till your best becomes your better best. That's it. All I can say is keep trying. Never give up. We're worth it. You know, some people keep putting all these attachments in their hair and they're losing their front hair and they say, oh, but look at you got your front hair. Yeah, I can't deal with it. So I just got to keep it real. Appreciate what you got because it's a God's gift. What that God stands for, just if you can't figure it out, just put another O. O. Anyone tell you something you don't understand, say O. And just say God, all right, let me put an O. So the goodness, look for the goodness in yourself. O. If you get confused and you can't relate to what people say, give yourself a tip. Oh, okay. Oh, have something to say for yourself. Don't stand there and take rubbish from people. Don't stand there and let them talk rubbish over your head. No. No, not be me to be that one. You're talking to the tree in the forest. Turn it around, slap it back. You know, when you want to win, you're going to have a defense tactic. Okay? Oh, that's my one. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, okay. And I just move. And if I tell you, wait, I'm coming, you'll never see me. Because that means I'm not listening to what you're saying. Wait, I'm coming. I will disappear. I have my own 2 foot. Make I use my own sense. Oh, okay. Move now. Make I show you my move. I'm a mover and shaker. Shaker and mover. So when I dance, they say, this one is happy person. Yeah, but touch me and see. So you got to defend something. You defend yourself. Can't defend nothing. Defend yourself.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. Love yourself enough to defend yourself. So accountability begins with number 1. Uno. I think that lady they called Elizabeth, she said one day when her palace burnt down, she had an anus horribilis. Yeah. You know what that means in my language? Where I come from, it's a butty hole, yeah. Shut up, butty hole, yeah. Anus horribilis. My mother spoke Latin. I looked up the word. I said, oh, so she knows how to talk like that. I can be posh if I want. Yes, change your language. That's what I have to say. The one I said out first. You could say it like the Queen. Enos Oribus. So you can call it what you want. I'm saying we all have it. We all go through it. Okay?
Yeah.
So look in the mirror, and every morning you wake up, you smile and say, that's me. I can trust me today.
Yeah.
Be you to you. Nobody else can do that for you. Okay?
Oh,
I hope that's all right, Sister Shanice.
it's
Back over.
beautiful. I love all the advice that you have just given us there to take away. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, look in the mirror. Trust you. Trust yourself. Don't trust anybody else. Trust yourself. Be accountable. Be disciplined. You said there are no quick fixes. You know, we're going to have to go through a bit of sweat, you know, and we'll get the results afterwards as well. And if we're going through that sweaty period, remember to hold it fresh and stay fresh as well. Be presentable. And do your better best until your better best becomes your best. Something like that. That is fantastic. Defend yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself enough to defend yourself. Wow. Beautiful advice there. You know, family, I hope you fell in love with the spirit of Lady Essie as I did when I met her. I just, you know, love her spirit so much. Brother Kwame says, Sister Essie, you should be a stand-up comedian. He just loves the way you deliver your messages there. Mama Africa said, is my home and nowhere else. Lumkwawa says, my beautiful sister, with such fortitude, shine, you put on everlasting smile on my face. So you're putting on an everlasting smile on the faces of our audiences here. It's beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, everybody. So my sis, I've had you talking for almost 2 hours now. Thank you so, so much. You've left us, you know, with so much to think about and so much fight. I love your fighting spirit. And, you know, we are just, knocked from left to right on a daily basis, aren't we? And so there has to be that fighting spirit in us in order for us to get through. And so, family, if there's one thing that you're going to take away from today, make sure it is that you love yourself enough to defend yourself, okay? And look to yourself in the mirror as well for the answers that you need. Thank you, Lady Essie. More love to you. Thank you to everyone in the audience for joining us today. It's been so interesting hearing Lady Essie's story. And if you want to play back, do replay and share the replay. Let our Lady Essie be an inspiration to every one of you out there. Thank you, Lady Essie. Bye for now. Bye, audience.
Bye.
See you next strong.
Bye.
Bye for
Bye,
now.
everyone. Love you all. Be happy.